Good morning, traders. How we doing out there? Who's ready to start another day? Of course, we got a lot of earnings to talk about, and we'll take a look into the playbook. Of course, it's a big day for Ethereum as the biggest news out there as the approval goes through. We'll take a look. Maybe we trade some Ethereum today. Let's get to today's playbook and see what we got. All right, traders, let's get it started. First up, I want to tell you guys I do have a little bit of issues with my graphics, but I'm just going to keep flowing, guys. Not going to stress about that. Just got to keep it moving, right? So today we are going to talk a little bit about Ethereum. That's going to be the first stock. Let's just talk a little bit about that, right? So this is a 2-time ETF. Of course, you guys can be looking at some other action, but what I'm going to be looking for is for maybe a quick little washout. So a lot of traders have been trying to build into this. You can see how it's been building, trying to get up there towards the 1250. Even in the morning, it was already starting to get a little lift there. Went towards the 1250. I want to see one attempt to take out like a trend line or a big support. And so I can draw this trend line right here and say, okay, can you come to 12 and then start turning around? Or is it further down? Back down towards the 1150 and the 1130s, and then we get going. So I think this is one that we got to pay attention towards out the gates. It can go either way. So it can either just be a quick rip up and then trying to catch pullbacks, or trying to see that big red candle, a fake out to the upside, maybe a move to 1250, 1255, and then boom, right back down towards 12. Then I can start scooping up down there in the 1190s, 1180s, down here in the pre-market support. That's going to be the area that I'll be watching for. We will see what happens with this one. Definitely leave it on the radar. Let's keep moving. Let's go to Caterpillar. That's the next stock that I want to tell you guys, because of course we've been watching the industrials take a pullback, and this is all based on what? This is interest rate cut outlook, right? This is why this stock got hot in the first place. As the market started to do what? It started to bake in here what is going on in the interest rate environment. So it's thinking already ahead. Remember, the market is forward looking. It talks about it all the time. People say that it's about 6 months out. Sometimes it could be 3 months out. It really just depends on where the market is. But right now, I think this is trying to go ahead and kind of bake in that interest rate cut. So this could be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing, where you get a run in the industrials and then you get the cut down, right? Well, why would industrials matter here for interest rates? Well, of course, when you go to buy that new tractor, it's pretty expensive. You need to finance it. That's why Caterpillar has been struggling this year, and I think it's going to start to get going. Of course, you guys can take a look at different names here, not just Cat, Deere, right? You got Deere, you got Picard that will be having earnings after the bell. So be careful with that Cat play today. I would play it for the day trade kind of action and be watching to see what happens on Picard, because Picard, of course, reporting, and I think that's important to kind of catch there. We'll see what happens with Picard. Was Picard this morning or was Picard the afternoon? I'm pretty sure it was the afternoon. Oh, no, it was this morning. Ha, ha, ha. Surprise, surprise. There's so many that came out this morning. I was looking at major names like Spotify, Coke, all these other ones. Here you guys have it. I'll throw it up on the screen so you guys can see it here. Their EPS 213, missing to 214. So that actually helps, right? Because this miss is going to hit Picard, but give a chance in Cat. So I think this is an actually interesting level to look at. The 9 EMA right here. You undercut it yesterday. Now you're starting to recover. That's right around here. So don't miss it, guys. We'll see if Caterpillar can make that move right back up and have a good day here. That's Cat. Let's go over to the next stock here I want to give you guys. So we got Cat. We got, of course, we took a look at the Ethereum right now. What else could we be trading here, guys? So this is where it gets difficult, right? Because right now we're kind of in this mixed noise, right? And I think that you need to kind of be watching to see what happens. But this is the stock for you guys. So, of course, Cat. We got Ethereum and Short City, guys. Short City today. So let's take a look at that action. Of course, yesterday I was able to make a nice little gain on Short City. Now I'm going to be talking about potentially a right shoulder being formed and then the takedown. So move back into this spot is what I'm thinking. We could short off of this layer and then really starting to look for the big breakdown. So I'm looking for a little bit of a bounce to form a right shoulder for a head and shoulders pattern and then the takedown. So right now, it could actually be a day trade on the move up and then a swing trade on the move down. That's the way I'm thinking about it for Citi. We'll see what happens if this keeps crashing. One that I think could just keep coming down fast, if you're looking for just a day trade today, is more Morgan Stanley. That's also another one that when it comes down, it just keeps fading and fading. Goldman Sachs also likes to do that too. Goldman Sachs has been hanging out here since I was able to call a really nice short from the 500. We could make a run to 490 and then finally let go. I always like to see about 3 or 4 tests towards the 1 hour. So you can see 1, 2, 3. We need that third really up there towards like 494 and then looking for the takedown. We did get a spike just recently that could be that topping action right around here around the 490s, but I'd look for a little bit more before that cut down of that 484 here for Goldman Sachs. I'm sorry. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's see what else is in the market today. We got a lot to talk about. We'll get towards, of course, the Sunrise report. And like I mentioned, I don't have the graphics, but I'll tell you one thing. I have some great stocks to talk about. Let's get to the action and see what we got on the Sunrise report today. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the Sunrise report and see what we got. And we'll talk a little bit about some different stocks here. So like always, guys, smash the like if you guys have some of these stocks and you want to talk a little bit about them. Of course, we have to start it off with the Ethereum talk. We've already talked a little bit about it, but you guys can take a look out there. There's different stocks to kind of watch. There's the ETHT. This is the ProShares Ethereum ETF. And so a lot of these we can take a watch to see what happens with it today. Of course, there's so many different ETFs that will be beginning to trade. And I think the real interesting question is now, does this set the stage for Bitcoin to run to 100,000? And I think it does, guys. So that's what I'm watching. Of course, you guys know I'll be trading other trades also, like CleanSpark. I was trading this yesterday. I'm liking it already as it's dipping here in the pre-market. A little part of me is thinking about already digging into this kind of move, because I feel like it's going to be one of those moves that just goes, and doesn't give you a chance to jump in. So one of the ones that you got to like jump on the offer if you really want it. We'll see what happens there on CleanSpark. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next headline today. We'll talk a little bit about GM and General Motors earnings. So adjusted EPS came in at $3.06, beating the $2.72 estimate. Sales of $47.969 billion, beat the $45.302 billion estimate. General Motors raising the 24 outlook here. EPS guidance to $9.50 and $10.50 on the high end, from a $9 and $10 outlook. So raising the 24, also adjusted guidance to $13.0 billion and $15 billion on the high end, from a prior 12.5 and 14.5 billion. So GM, all good news here. Now there is some bad news out there that I think some people are not catching in this report. They're focusing on the numbers, and that's all great. But another thing to note is that General Motors Cruise division, the autonomy automotive department, is really struggling. And they're trying to get things together there, but they just don't got it. The truth is that watch when Tesla's Robotics comes out. If they get that right, they're going to kill these guys like General Motors and Ford, because they can't get it right. Right? Of course, Google has Waymo and things like that, but General Motors is struggling on that side of things. So in the long run, I don't like General Motors, but in the short run, yeah, you can go ahead and take a look. All right, guys, we'll snap up those Cokes. Where's Warren when you need him? Let's take a look at Coca-Cola today and see what's going on there, as Coca-Cola Q2 24 adjusted EPS at 84 cents, beat the 81 cent estimate. Sales of $12.4 billion, beat the $11.75 billion estimate. They see a fiscal year 24 organic revenue of 9 and 10%, and expecting fiscal year 24 comparable EPS growth to face a 8 to 9% currency headwind here. So Coke coming in, and this was already on the run. So a lot of times this could be the topping, right? This had already been kind of pushing towards new highs and kind of getting up there. So Coke trying to make that kind of, even approach where you really kind of break out to the all-time high here, and from 22, 67.20. It's at 65.50s. This could pull back a little bit there. The report really wasn't that bad, but it's nothing that I jump out of my shoes for here in Coke. Let's go to GE Aerospace, of course, and let's take a look at this action, as I've been looking to see if we'd come back and break the trend line. And look at this, guys. Look at this action here. So we were calling it how we kept coming to this level and looking for the break. Look when I drew this line, guys. Created it on the 18th of June. So way back then, guys, and we've updated it recently. We've been looking to see if GE would get the next move with the industrial play, right? The interest rate environment helping this out, and the earnings coming in and helping out also. Not a bad beat here on the EPS, $1.20, beating the 99-cent estimate. Sales of 8.22, missing the 8.46 estimate. They don't care, because GE raised the fiscal year outlook, revenue growth in high single digits, adjusted EPS to $3.95 to $4.20 versus a $4.08 estimate. GE killing it here, guys. And I think that this is something that could really kind of keep going. So pullbacks to 166 makes sense for the trend line. We'll see if this can really kind of keep the push. And this just tells me I got to look at the industrial space overall, because there's definitely names here that could get moving. And I want to bring another one here with news out there, which is in Honeywell, right? Also in the industrial space. I'm going to skip forward a little bit of the earnings. We'll go back to Spotify in just a second here. But Honeywell selected by United Airlines to provide a wide array of cockpit technologies for the new 737 MAX. So this is including the industry's only 3D weather radar. And holy moly. So you're telling me there's a 3D weather radar out there and the Weather Channel and AccuWeather don't have it? I don't know. But new 25-hour flight data recorders and advanced traffic avoidance systems. So Honeywell definitely getting a little bit of a lift off of this news. We'll look to see if it really pushes, right? This is one stock that I can tell you guys, I've tried to trade in the past. It's very difficult. It's very wide. And when you think about it overall, take a look at the monthly. It's gone nowhere since 2021, right? This stock is essentially up what? 0.34%, not even a full percent. So is it a bad stock to own? No, because it's not going around, not going away anytime soon. But if you look at the yearly here, it looks like it's trying to get above this high. Can it get above 221s? Really the level you got to be looking for now. Will Honeywell get started here? I don't know, man. Who's looking in the honey pot? Let me know. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. Let's go to the next one here. We'll go back here towards another major earnings today. And if you guys got a major earnings you guys want to talk about, throw it up in the chat. And you guys watching out on Twitter right now, guys, hit the like, the retweet. Let everybody know this is the show to get ready for the markets. Hit the like, guys. Let's get to it. Spotify up there to 337, almost 340. Their Q2 EPS here at 1.33 euros. This is on billions. Beat the estimate of 1.08. So sales here at 3.8, missing the 3.81. But their total monthly active users up 14% year over year. I don't know how Spotify continues to do it, but they continue to find the users to continue the growth here. Spotify posting strong growth and record profits in Q2, getting that spike up there to 337. Now starting to take the next step here. I'd be looking for pullbacks back towards 325 and 330s, but doesn't look bad here as we start to get higher in Spotify. And looks like their acquisitions weren't too bad. They're able to shake a lot of the action out there. What's up out there, Wisdom? Let's get that money. Vic, it's good to see you guys, FJF. And if you're new to the show for some reason, say hello, especially you guys out on Twitter. Just click the link, open up the video, and drop a comment. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's see what else is out there and moving today. Here's an interesting one, not talked about often, but I want to give it to you guys because there's like a stock that could trade off of this, right? Not necessarily specifically this stock, but I do want to give it to you guys because Porsche is down today. And why is Porsche down? I think this is something to talk about, not necessarily for Porsche, but for other plays in the industry. You guys know it's Money Mitch, always trying to give you guys information and value so that you guys are in the know. Porsche here falling after the automaker cut its outlook, 24 outlook. But this is the important part. It's based on aluminum alloy shortage. Whenever I hear that word right there, shortage, my ears and eyes go like, boom, what is going on? So pay attention, guys. The shortage is likely to impact production and could result in production shutdowns for some vehicle series. Let's pay attention to that. If they're having aluminum alloy shortages, aren't there going to be maybe some aluminum issues all around? Well, that's one thing that I can start to pay attention to. That's one thing I can maybe profit off of, right? And so we got to pay attention to aluminum kind of plays to see how those start to move, right? Alcoa is, of course, the bigger name that most will know, but there's other plays that we can watch here, right? There's CENX that recently was on a spike to 21, now getting a quick little pullback. This seems to me like an opportunity as you getting that pullback. So I'll be watching to see if aluminum can get hot today with mentions like what was mentioned in the Porsche earnings. So, hey, I always like to look for edge in the market and look for comments like this and always looking at what the underlying asset is in the company or the underlying asset in vehicles. And here, a big portion of it going to aluminum. So let's see what happens there. All right, guys, there's some more upgrades and downgrades. Let's flow through these right quick. And did you get your donut this morning? I'll tell you one thing. I hate saying this because it just makes me want a donut, really. But Krispy Kreme donuts getting a little spike today. And HSBC upgrading to buy and announcing a $14 price target. One thing I'll tell you about Krispy Kreme donuts is they did sell their Insomnia cookies stake. So maybe that's helping them out. Also get a little bit of a lift, more profitability. Insomnia cookies. Oh my God. I don't know how you don't make money because those profit margins on each cookie must be like somewhere in the 80 to 90%. But hey, it is what it is. Let's keep moving. Let's get to another upgrade here. What about Snapchat? You guys taking a look at Snap this morning? Snap up a little bit here. We'll see if this can actually turn things around. Not my favorite stock. I think in the long run, Snapchat is going to go bye-bye, but that's just my outlook because I don't use Snapchat anymore. Let me know in the chat. Are you using Snapchat anymore? Hey, hit it up, guys. Let me know. All right, let's keep going. Let's get to the next one and last one on the Sunrise Report today. We got Skechers. Let's take a look at the Skechers. Who's rocking some Skechers out there? Somehow, some way, I don't think too many people will answer that one. But let's keep a look here. Skechers getting an upgrade from Morgan Stanley to overweight and raising the price target to $80. So, of course, Nike's been on the struggle since their report, and they're down big. They're still down to $74.88. They're trying to turn around, But with this report, maybe this helps Nike more than it helps Skechers. To me, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Skechers stock or footwear right now overall. But on up there towards 41, right? Skechers starting to move back. Deck, one definitely to kind of keep your eyes out if Nike really starts to drive back. So we'll have to keep watch to see what happens on these. I'm watching it too because, like, let's say this stock. Birkenstock, right? This is a shoemaker that's relatively new IPO. I'll say relatively because it was last year, but still at the same time, I'm looking to see if this starts to break down with these other kind of footwear stocks. But like always, guys, smash the like. We'll keep it moving. We'll take a look at some different stocks out there. And if you guys got a stock you guys want to look at, throw it up in the chat. We'll see what else is going on in the market today. And like always, guys, if you guys are looking for a way to maybe potentially win your own package, right, your own evals, we'll get that going, guys. Stock trading competition is coming. We have the Olympics. So, hey, a lot of people are going to be celebrating the Olympics coming up. I know I'm going to be watching some Olympic action. And where do you want to be? You want to be at the Trade the Pool Olympics, of course. Don't miss that, guys. I'll give you guys the link. I'll throw it up multiple times today. And sign up for all the accounts, right? There's 4 battles that's going to be going on there. And I want you guys, of course, to rule the Olympics, right? Rule the pool for the Olympics, guys. Who's going to get the gold? Well, hey, bear battle, bull run, penny power, and of course, for those that just like to trade, like let's say Tesla, the S&P 500. Hey, well, you'll be able to trade those bigger boys. Hey, get after it, guys. Rule the pool Olympics here. I'm going to throw it up in the chat, guys. Hey, sign up before it runs out, because we will be closing it in 6 days, guys. You don't want to wait till July 29th to sign up. On the 28th, we're going to close it. So don't miss out, guys. Sign up right now. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look at the action in the market today. And I got to see what else I get into, man. It's been a tough action lately. We're going to look to see what we can find today. Where's the goal? Where's the goal, man? Yesterday wasn't a bad day. Overall, ended in the green, right? Not a bad trade on Netflix. Netflix was a really good trade back up to the upside yesterday. We'll look to see if it can get some move today. It's right back down, but yesterday was a really nice trade in there. And I did make some other ones that have been doing well. So today I'm watching some other ones that I've already had a nice trade on. Of course, you guys know on Friday, First Solar with a really nice move. And yesterday does the same thing, kind of hourly pullbacks. Similar patterns, guys, are so important to catch. Look at this similar pattern, guys. So you're getting the big push. You're getting the pullback towards bigger support on the 9 for the 15-minute. And you guys can see it here. It comes right back to it, holds it, and then starts working its way higher. Same thing here. Breaks out, comes back to it, goes higher. Breaks out, comes back to it, goes higher. When you can see things repeat like this is so important, because when stocks repeat patterns, those are probably going to be the easier stocks to trade, and easier, of course, being more a relative measure, but something definitely to take a look at here. We'll see what happens in First Solar. But catching up here with the chat, what do you guys got for me here? I'm seeing Day Trade Tony come in the chat here. What's up out there, guys? AZTR. Okay, I'll take a look at that one. AZTR. Let's see what we got here. AZTR up there towards $4.50, almost $5 there. Hit 487 straight up. So stocks like this, these are the ones that I think are better to play in the pre-market than, let's say, like a WRNT. This was another one that was out there. We'll see what happens to this, because it's already on the pullback, right? And so I like that one. That's not a bad one. AZTR, and really starting to push. So at this point, you've seen 1 push, 2 pushes, 3 pushes is still available to it. So 5 definitely in play here. There's the 480s. We'll see if it takes 5 right now. There's 495. There's 5 right there. Boom, boom, bada bing, bada bang. Hey, Day Trade Tony, where's the money? Where's the money, my friend? Well, you guys see it there. AZTR really taking off there. We'll look to see if it keeps pushing, but having a good time like always. I hope you guys are having a good time this morning. Keep throwing up those tickers, especially ones that you guys are looking at this morning. What's on the watch list? Where's Noli? Where are all my loyal followers out there? You guys in here every single day battling with me. I want to battle with you guys. I'm ready to get after it. Sandra, what's up? Good time to see you. Working on the first challenge. Hey. Well, welcome to the show. You know, one of the things is for sure, we don't try to act like experts here, because the truth is we'll save the experts for those guys out there driving the Lamborghinis, right? But what we try to do is show processed approach. I'm here battling every single day, showing you guys how I go after it, and being fully transparent to the point where I show orders. There's not too many people out there that are going to be able to actually show you that kind of action. So smash the like, and always pinkies on up. All right, let's keep going, Sandra. And the energy won't stop. Trust me. If you see my energy down, Sandra, you let me know, because we got to pick that right back up. If not, I'll go get a Celsius. We'll get it back going. All right, let's see what we got out there. Let's see what we can find. Serve. Bullseye bringing up, and Serve has served me once too many, but I'll take a look at it. Serve Robotics up there towards 926. Can this one keep running? This is definitely has been one that's been in play. It's pulled back since yesterday's really kind of breakout towards almost 14. This is kind of the layer where you can kind of take a look at it, but take a look at the Bollinger Bands and how that's really extended. So now we can take a look at this and see if we can push back towards 12. Is that in play? Yes, but we got to also keep in mind that this one moves up and down pretty fast here. So we'll look to see if Serve can get moving. Yesterday, we were also watching RR with this one, Robotics, right? Rich Tech Robotics. And look how that's right back down. So these robotic stocks can get hot, as this could be an area where a lot of traders are looking for the next AI trade, right? Not just the AI trade that's going on with large language models, but also what's the next one? Robotics could definitely be there. Dart Trading Lab, great insight, good energy. Hey, always here to try to help guys and always trying to tell you guys what I see. And I used to call myself the story trader, right? Because that's what I really like to focus on, guys. I like to think about what's the story out there, right? What's the media pitching? What are the traders looking at? What's the next hype word? So is the next hype stuff robotics? I think so. Because when you think about it, what are we talking about nowadays? We're talking a lot about like Tesla's robotics days, right? We're talking a lot about autonomy. And I think that's why you're also seeing certain stocks like AUR get the lift, right? This is Aurora Innovations. And why is this stock getting the lift? Well, it does autonomy, right? Autonomous vehicles, right? And I think that's something that we all need to be thinking about. There's so much money to be made if you can be ahead of like big trends like this. So of course you got to be a little bit careful when you're being a little bit early, but I think it's something that we can all take a look at and see if we can find a trade in the space. All right, let's keep going. Tonight, of course, guys, don't miss it. I will be doing an earnings stream on Google and Tesla tonight. We'll talk a little bit about the different areas and what is going on in Tesla. Is it good things, bad things, right? What is the space here, where they're making their money, where they're losing money? Let's find out tonight. Guys, I will see you guys. I'm starting it up a little bit early, 3:45, so we can get that closing action. We can get right to the earnings. Earnings probably come out right there around 4 o'clock. We get Google, we get Tesla. We'll see what happens to those. I'll be going towards about 4:15 and maybe potentially even trading those earnings. I don't do this often, but hey, stick around, guys. I will see you guys later today, right here. You don't got to go anywhere. Just hit the subscribe right now, and let's keep going. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Just 1 second here. All right, guys. All right, let's see what else we can find in the market today. I'm going to be watching through the kind of the scanners here. Let's see what else is making a move out there. Let's go to the cheapy cheaps, see what's going on there. AZTR, of course, we've talked about that one. AZTR now up there towards 548. Bada boom, bada bang, man. Should have bought that 480 when Day Trade Tony brought it up. That was a monster move already. Hey, Day Trade Tony, I need it a little earlier, my friend. I'm just jealous, man. Good job, man. Way to be on top of the stocks out there. Day Trade Tony always in the Discord and really active. So if you're not in the Discord and not really active, hey, I'll tell you one thing. Get on over there because the Discord is where it's at. Tim, where you at, man? Throw up a link. Let's keep it going. Let's keep building. ADIL. Great Scott. Always looking for you in the chat, my friend. Let's take a look. ADIL around the 150s holding in right now. We'll look to see if this can pull back here, maybe towards the 140 and then get going, right? That's the way I see it right now. That 140 would be a nice little pullback attempt towards support. Could come back here towards the $2. Of course, you got a multiple times where this is already kind of run. Definitely could see a nice push towards 170 being that kind of trigger where things get hot. So ADIL, we'll look to see if this can get moving. Mira is one that was kind of really watched on, right? Yesterday was making a really nice move, had a nice little push. Could have an inside day and then a nice push. So just keep that in mind. But for right now, it is on the pullback. We'll look to see if this one can get hot also. Another stock that's being watched. CMAX is another one that I saw this morning that is going to be in play. So there's so many in here that we got to keep watch, right? So it's time where we set a new list of stocks to watch. Let's go ahead. Let's make a new list here. I don't mind making new lists all the time. I think it's very important to do so, right? So you guys can always add some stocks here. And like always, you guys can take a look at doing this yourself on the platform, adding some names. And if you guys have any ticker you guys want to add to it, hey, throw it up here. I'm going to keep adding some tickers here. You guys add some tickers in the chat. We'll keep watching these and see what we can come up with, right? Of course, I'll throw out the playbook there so that we can watch that. But there's a lot of these names that could get the nice little lift today. So we'll see what happens here. All right, CMAX, definitely. I see you guys out there. AZTR, monster move indeed, man. What a nice move there. And then what was the number? What was the stock that I got from Scott here? ADIL. There you go. Let's add that one. All right, guys. And you guys heard my playbook this morning. And of course, watching ENPH and watching those types of stocks because the energy and solar names, I do think could get a nice little lift. So FSLR definitely included on that. And we've just been watching it just to talk about it also. DJT, which really hasn't made a move lately. But at some point, I feel like we're going to get a move there. The question is only when, right? Tesla, I'm just going to include it here just to have it on the radar. And of course, you guys out there, let me know if there's a stock that you guys want to keep a watch on, right? And of course, we can talk about Citigroup. That's going to be one to kind of keep a watch on. And of course, all the Ethereum action, we'll definitely be watching that, guys. The Ethereum stocks are going to be moving all around. I'm putting ETHU, which is, of course, a leverage one, but you guys can go about it any which way you want to take a trade on that. And then, of course, we got to put CAT. The cat's out the hat, guys. Will it get the lift today? We'll find out. All right, that's CAT. We'll see if that can get moving. AMD, what's up with AMD now, guys? So, of course, this is a fan favorite. We'll see if this can start to bounce. Of course, the Qs have been also struggling here, but doesn't mean that we can't get another lift. Of course, big earnings will be coming tonight. Google could get this moving already, right? So let's see how Google performs today out the gates. I do think that Google wants 200. So the question is, will this be the report that gets it to there? It definitely could. Now the only question is, it's kind of hard to buy stocks like that on pullbacks. So we'll have to watch what happens here in Google. Good morning, Eldon. It's good to see you out there. SMG. I've traded that one before, Wisdom, right? We'll see what happens on that one. Get it, Bullseye. Bullseye, you better get ready, man, for the competition. I want you on point. You better get some good sleep this weekend and get ready for the competition as we kick things off next week. All right, let's keep going, guys. I'm super excited to see what we can find. Let's go look at that AZTR. It's already pulled back here to 516. So we've had our third run. Like a lot of times what we can think about is like, so this is a run right here, right? So this is like that first pattern, right? Then you get this expansion move, right? What I call the expansion move, and you guys can look this up. This is kind of more of your kind of three-wave pattern, right? So kind of the one move, the two move, right? The three is usually like the big move. Now you're getting the 4 and the 5, where I'd be looking for maybe potentially one last drive, but that usually means that there's a pullback after that one, right? So maybe we get one more drive, and it doesn't mean that it has to be this size, right? But I just think about this like this, right? This is kind of more your Elliott wave theory, your cycles, right? Trying to learn how that kind of works here. So Dow theory, you guys can look up. But I think that now we're going to take a look here to see if we start to get back here towards the 7. You got to look to see if you get a little bit more pullback, but it doesn't look bad because it's holding here the resistance, which is around the 470. So that's where I'd be looking for on pullbacks to see if we can make a quick move to 470 in a recovery. Right now, you're at the 490s. You went to 477 just recently, 478. 475. So that definitely that 70 mark acting as support, which was a prior resistance. All right, let's keep going. Let's Dart trading, bringing it in. I ain't mad at him. Let's go. We'll pull the Jerry Springer here. All right, guys, let's keep moving. Let's see what else is out there. Of course, Serve is going to be on the radar. Let's put Serve on here. It might serve me up again by putting it on here, but I'll do it, man. I'll do it. Of course, another thing to be taking a look at is like Clean Spark, right? I definitely want to keep a watch on that. That's already doing well, and I love the dip in the morning. Definitely, this would be one that I maybe take a bigger shot on today, and I think this one might be kind of one of those gap and goes. So down one, down two, down three. I'm looking for one more dip here to really get big, which is the dip towards like 730s. And 17 held really well yesterday, but I don't think we're going to get a big dip there. It might just hold here towards the 730s and then take off through that 750s. This is probably one of my top watches today, guys. I really traded this well yesterday by sizing in slow, and then when the stock came back around, making the size go up and taking the shot, right? So yesterday, if I would have taken my normal approach, I would have got stopped out of this. But I've been working on habits, and we're talking about this here. And I'll throw it out again, right? This week, we're trying to improve one habit, right? So find one bad habit that you have that you've been doing and try to turn that around and make it a good habit. So my bad habit, and I've talked about it with you guys, is maybe sizing up too big, too fast. So trying to do it slower and maybe more entry size. That's how I figured out how I'm going to go about it, right? I can either focus on going about it at like, let's say 1,000 shares, right? I'm trying to get to 1,000 shares. I can go about it at 500 shares, 2 orders, but that just hasn't been working for me. So instead, I'm trying to go for an extreme amount of entry size and willing to pay the execution fee, because the fees is not what's going to matter. What's going to matter to me is if I'm green or red on that trade. So I think it's very important to go after like let's say 1,000 shares. I can go at it at 100 shares or maybe even 50 shares, right? 10 entries, 20 entries, things like that. I'm thinking about laddering. Things like this is how I'm trying to improve. So you out there, I'll kick it to you guys. What is one habit that you guys can improve on this week? Keep throwing them up in the chat. I want to catch them all week. And keep yourself honest by throwing it up in the chat. That's how a lot of the ways that we keep ourselves honest. That's how I'm keeping myself honest, by bringing it up to you guys. Because the truth is, we all need to have some type of accountability. And guess what? As traders, we can help each other have that accountability and get to success. Let's go, guys. What's up, future day trade? Let's get after it. Got served. There you go. There you go. The serve robotics gets the crusher, as they say. All right, let's see if we can. You guys want to have some fun here? Let's short this bad boy. Let's short this bad boy. What's the offering price? Anybody got offering price on that? I can take a look at it, but that's going to slow me down here. Let me see here. Looking for a pop back here. So a lot of times what we do is we get the first downside action, right? You get some kind of bounce maybe to start to come back, but it probably won't come back all the way back here. That's 877. I don't expect that, but I could expect maybe like the light blue line. So the light blue line is what? The 829, 830s. So that's kind of the layer that I could look at here. Here's the pricing. It's a $15 million. It's 2.5 million shares, and it's at $6 per share. So $6 is our price that we want to pay attention to. Now, I think that could eventually happen at the end of the day. I'm looking for a little pop into the 830s here, but it's already kind of turning around. I want to expand this and get focused on it. So let's go ahead. Let's see what we can come up with here. All right, there, it's already kind of dropping. Did we get to the 8s? No, still no pop into the 8s. I'm looking for the pop into the 8s. Can I jump into it right now? Yes, you could, but hey, I'm going to look for 830s. I'm looking from the 9 EMA, and maybe it's at the bell that this spikes there towards the 830s and then gets the takedown. But serve, I'm glad I didn't get served up today in it, because there you guys have it. That's just how it goes sometimes. RR might take a hit on this, so I'm not I'm not looking at this as much, right, as I was a moment ago. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Fixed size laddering. Yeah, laddering is something that I'm really working on, Dart. So if you're looking at that too, man, hey, let's see what else is out there. And I think it's very important. What's going on? How are you and the family? The family's doing great, man. Right now, the boys are going towards a little doctor's appointment, but hey, get a little bit of some time on. Need to move to the East Coast, man. Hey, stay on the West Coast, Wisdom. It's always good to wake up early, man. You get used to it. Thanks for the post, Shane. Appreciate you dropping it in there. $6 per share. Definitely going to be something to keep a watch on. No holding bags. Cut the losers quickly. Try not to chase. There you go, bullseye. Hey, let's work on that, man. How do you work on that, though? You know what? One thing is important, right? And so, like, we're talking about it here, right? So you want to cut losers quickly and try not to chase. That's a goal. That's an outcome. How do I get there? What in my system is going to allow me to do this? The same way for me, like I'm telling you about the share size laddering. That's the actual system way to go about the outcome and the goal, right? Because a lot of us will mention goals in life, but we're not mentioning how we're going to get there. This is what's going to improve your trading. I'm always wishing you guys the best. Let's keep getting after it. You guys out there on X, do me the favor, guys. Hit the retweet, hit the comments, let everybody know this is the stream you guys want to check out in the morning to get ready for the trading action. All right, let's see what else is moving out there. And if you guys got a mover, hey, let me know, guys. Let's go to some of the bigger boys, see what's going on here. I'm going to bring in, I'll just use Benzinga Pro here to see the scanners, see the recent action. We're going to look at stocks that are a little bit bigger, but really starting to get the action in the morning, right? So we've talked about some of these smaller names. It's 9:18. Let's take a look at some of the bigger names, see what we got out there moving. Here's an interesting one that we don't talk about often, Comcast. So CMCSA. This is one of the hardest ones to freaking look up. Oh my God. I always forget this one. But it is trying to get the lift. It had earnings this morning. Let's take a look at that earnings. Earnings came in here at $1.21, beating the $1.12 estimate. Sales of 29.68, missed the 30.02 billion estimate. They did declare a 31-cent dividend, so that might help them a little bit. But what's hurting them here is Universal Studios. The parks get hit. Parks hit Q2 sales. Let's see here. Let's see what the sales were in the parks. I'm trying to see here what I got. Looks like it was hurt by a 10.6% drop in theme park revenue. That doesn't look good for who? For Disney, man. So if Comcast is seeing that struggle, look how Disney's getting hit on this. Why is Disney on bid down, right? Why is Disney getting hit? Why is Disney dropping fast? That's it right there, guys. So if you're wondering why Disney was getting hit this morning, well, if the theme parks are struggling for Universal Studios, that means knock, knock, next door, Disney probably struggling also. So, hey, things like this, you got to actually know the stocks, the relationships, so that you can be on top of it. Immediately, Comcast relationship, up, the parks, Disney, boom, Disney's, they start to smack Disney. And that's why you're seeing it probably on the bid down, where it's like people are hitting the bid, right? And that's an important thing to catch also as traders. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there. No sleeping is my habit. Oh, yes, wisdom. That could be a habit to improve itself. Traders don't understand that sleep is such an impact on their performance. This is why athletes sometimes sleep 10 hours, a minimum. And so you need to be asking yourself, am I doing myself the service by staying up late on the Netflix, on the YouTube, or maybe just whatever you're watching, right? I mean, the truth is, we a lot of times all do it, right? We stay up, we start watching some social media, start looking at Twitter. I've been there, guys. Let's work on that. Let's improve that sleeping habit, and let's try to make improvements every week, man. All right, guys, I practice in the sim. You can always practice in the sim. Just the key is when you go to practice the same way you're going to go live. And if it isn't the same way, you're doing yourself a disservice, because let's say if you can make these thousands of dollars in paper trade, but then when you go to real life trade, you only got $200 to play with. Well, I promise you, you're going to mess up your brain. You're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to function. You're not going to be able to focus. You're going to be all over the place. Trade the same way you would if you were going to the live, right? And those are for the paper traders out there. All right, let's keep going, guys. SMFL, not a bad one to keep a watch, Shane. Let's go. SMFL, smart for life. This thing has a tendency of popping and dropping. You can see it. I've seen it just in the last couple of months do a couple of pops and drops. This is nothing that I think in the long run actually gets a run. These are just kind of pops and drops. But is this one that maybe keep a watch on for another pop today? And yeah, it could pop and drop. But man, look how quickly this came up and back down. I don't trust this one bit. Pop and drop is right, Shane. This looks like one of those for sure. Wally bringing in a good habit to maybe cut, right? Well, bad habit that he wants to make a good habit, right? Stop revenge trading. Well, what's one thing in your system that you can do to change that, Wally? Remember, this is the goal and the outcome. Now we want to ask ourselves, what in my system am I going to change this week to make it a good habit instead of a bad habit? Maybe it's strike 3 and you're out, something like that. Or maybe it's, hey, if I lose X amount on any position, I take it off. I'm done for the day. Because the truth is, we don't have to make all our money in one day. We can think about money and situations and trading as maybe weekly or monthly. I think that's a lot better than daily. There's too many traders out there that only think about their P&L in a daily stance. So if they're green today, they're happy. If they're red today, they're mad and sad, right? Well, let's try to get around that. Let's try to focus it as more of a weekly outcome, right? I just want to be green for the week. I just want to be green for the month. I just want to be green for the year. Things like this can really help you. All right, guys, let's keep it going, guys. Trade 3 stocks or less. There you go. Hey, I'm loving to see the habits out there, guys, that you guys are trying to make improvements on. And I promise, guys, if we all work on this together, catch each other on this, we're going to have some great accountability and make great moves in our skills. This is what we're all looking for, progress to getting better. If we're not getting better, then what are we doing here? We're wasting our time. I'm not here to waste your time. Neither are you. Let's keep going after it, team. All right, let's see what we can come up with. AZTR, how's that one doing now? It's back down towards that 5.7, 5.13, that action there. Did we get a move to 5.70? Let's see. So we got in that move here, back down 4.70. That's the move, right? So 4.77s, 4.78, 4.75, recovered back through 5, went up there to 5.46, then came back here to the 4.90s, then came back to 5. I'm looking for an attempt down right below this $5 to 4.70, and then look to see if AZTR wants to make a move back. And look where the VWAP is, 440. So keep that in mind. The VWAP is slightly below it. You could get quick sweeps and then returning on the move back up. All right, Mike Nobles. And I've loved seeing some new faces in the chat joining because why? Because we're going to do something to make improvements. And that's what it's all about. So thinking in return not in money, but return, aim for 5 rewards. Thinking reward, return, right? Getting that 5 return, 5 rewards, right? Hey, get that money, man. Mike, just keep it focused, right? So that's the outcome. What's your system? And what are you doing to improve that, right? So 1 reward is 100. So 5, make $500. Okay, so what can I do in my system that's going to help me get to that $500? Think about it, Mike, and get after it, man. All right, let's see what else is out there. What's moving on the action there? Then Mara start to move back up. There it goes. This is not a bad one to keep watch. I'm definitely going to keep this one on my radar here. There's that spike and serve. So I was looking for it there, guys. Let me see if I can get this trade on. That came fast there, guys. It went to 827s. I'm looking for 820s here. That was fast. That was fast there, guys. I'm trying to get in here. I'm putting out an order right now at the 820s, guys. 820s. I got 100 shares there. I need to go ahead and lower that down because what's my rule? Don't go too quick, too fast, right? So I'm lowering it down. Still trying to get some entries towards the 830s. So I'm going to do 830. I did 20 shares at 820. I'm going to do 20 shares at 830. I'm going to do 20 shares at 840. I'm going to do 8.15 here. So now I have my ladder in place here, right? So I'm looking to ladder in. And this is where I wanted to get in, right? 8:30. I talked about this prior. And this was off the 15-minute, kind of that 9 EMA. And it's up there towards the 40s now as it curves, right? As the price comes back, right? You could look at the 5. The 5 is right off of that 38, right? So that's kind of the area where I could definitely see it starts to hold up. I'm going to actually push some of my ladder up because of that, right? So we're looking at more like an 840s, right? And so we want to be at least close to that. So I'm moving it up there towards the 830 entry and trying to get in on serve to eventually short this. And I have the orders out. I'll show you guys the ladder. And I always try to be as transparent and as I can, guys, and show you guys everything. Show you guys from orders. Look at this, guys. Look at the ladder out there. Let's see if I get some fills here. Of course, it's down to the A14s, but I'm looking for the fills back here. I got what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 orders out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. No, we got 4. We got 4 orders out there. So that gives me about 80 shares. Then what I'm looking for is to get fills, get a nice average. And then when the stock goes green, when I first get that first drive into green, that's when I want to go big. That's what I'm working on. All right, guys, let's keep getting after it and we'll see. And I stopped myself there, right? You guys saw it. At first, I went, you know what? 100 shares really quickly. I probably would have got the fill and then start being in the red really quickly. I'm trying to go slow on the entry, then really kind of getting after it. All right, guys, I see some more names jumping in some list here, and I love to see it, guys. So keep throwing them up there. We'll keep watching. I'll let you guys know if I do get hit on that serve and start taking a trade on that. And then also keeping a watch on Mira, and Mira's already going, guys. So this was one that I wanted to keep on the radar. Serve distracted me a little bit there, but it's already coming back here towards 4. This is definitely one that I think could get hot today. I'm watching it here. We'll see what happens. Hourly support was right around that 333. Now it's reclaimed that kind of 350 area. 550s in play with this, $5. So definitely one to kind of keep a watch on. I'll look for a little bit of a dip here out the gates here and see if we can go ahead and catch this one. Mira is MIRA, definitely on my radar today. You guys keep throwing up some stocks out there. We'll keep watching and seeing what we come up with today. All right, guys, let's look around. I'm going to look around to see what else I can find. But getting ready for the open here. It's 9:29, guys. Get ready. Start focusing in. Nail down what you're looking at, what you're trying to trade. Like always, one of my weaknesses is doing all these plans, all this hard work in the pre-market, and then missing the trade. So let's get ready, and let's get after it, team. All right, guys, let's see what we can come up with. Let's get after it. FedEx lower. All right, not a bad one to kind of keep a watch on. Let's go, guys. Getting that drop already there in Mira. All right, guys, let's get ready to rock and roll. Mira doesn't look too bad off that 70. There's 930. There it goes, guys. We already opened up here, so we'll see what happens with this one. This is the kind of one that I'm watching right off the back. I did get alert there in Nextera Energy and Clean Spark, man. Oh, man, that thing's already up there towards 18. That's where it's going to be very difficult. The 1750 buy on this made complete sense in the pre-market. Wasn't watching this as it started to rise off the 1750s. And you guys know it. I've been talking about this since the pre-market. One of my top watch is Clean Sparks. It's already getting going here. I might have to just play catch up. And that's where I get really annoyed. I hate chasing. Like even Bullseye mentioned it earlier. So we'll see what happens here. Doesn't look bad here. That Mira has 100,000 shares at 353. So just be careful with that one. Don't know what's going on with that one. Definitely going to be watching here Clean Spark to see if I can get some type of pullback towards the 1780s. But right now it's holding in the 18 and could just make a run off of the 18. That's where it gets hard, right? I could have to step up and just buy the 18s right now. We'll see what happens here in Clean Spark. I do like it, but man, I liked it at 1750s, not 18. That's where it gets difficult. I was just hoping for it to just hang out here before the open. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes, guys. AZTR. Woo-hoo-hoo, there it goes. There she goes. Up there to 730s in an instant on the halt. Look at that. What a monster move. That boy Day Trade Tony brought in a monster today. Hey, shout out to you, man. AZTR, just ripping, man, ripping. All right, guys. Clean spark here, guys. I might go after a quick little trade here, and I do go after it, and I have to be quick because you could get that downside action. I'm getting some fills there in serve, guys. So I do want to mention that. I am getting some fills in serve. So let me go focus on that just in case that squeezes on me, right? That can easily squeeze. So I already got some fills there. Didn't get the fills up into the 40s, but I got some fills there. I got about 40 shares filled there. Going to look to see if this can really kind of break down through the eights. It's definitely could still spike a little bit here. So just keeping it simple, waiting. Going to look to see if I can get a little bit more fill, and then going to look for the real takedown through the 8. There's 827s. I'm even putting some up there towards 860s just in case I get a big spike there. So above 840s, looking to add. If that does get the nice little fill here, we went to 42s. Maybe we get back to the VWAP. VWAP is 850s. All right, let's go back here. Let's take a look at some other ones and keep focusing, guys. There's a lot of action out there. There's going to be a lot of stocks that are moving. Let's see what we can come up with. Clean spark on that big pullback there. I like that pullback for clean spark, especially if we can get to the 1750s. So what I'm going to do is I'm already going to get the starter on here and then just keep trying to add it on the pullbacks, looking to size up there, right? And so that's what I'm going to be looking for here. First order out there at the 74s, just got that filled there. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to size towards the 50s. So 50 will be that first approach there. Boom. 40s. Got another order out there, and I'm going to put one at 60. So just laddering down, trying to get the fills on the pullback, and then back through the 18 is where I really want to size up and take a big approach for the breakout. Serve, kind of just chomping around here. We'll look to see if I get some more fills and taking some shots out there, guys. Oxy is some big money problems. We'll see what's happening there. Bad news. Yeah, Oxy getting a big hit there. Ooh, it is taking a hit. Did Warren sell there? Look to see what happens there. XLE probably taking a big quick hit on that. Drip is one way to maybe play that for the like downside approaches, the bear outlook here. We'll keep watch, guys. And I'm still taking a look at what's moving in the market right now. ADIL, guys, going for the $2 spot there. Held the 170 pullback, 150 pullback. This actually looking pretty decent here. We'll look to see if it can continue pushing towards the upside. But there's Clean Spark trying to recover already, guys. So I'm going to step up to the plate a little bit here as we start to hold the 17 and 1780s. It could still pull back a little bit here, but I have a feeling that we're going to get that quick little sweep to 75s, back through the 18, trying to make a run to 19 here. So I got to step up to the plate if I want to get this one here. All right, going to try to still go at it slower than normal, right? So 20 share orders and then just put them out there for pullbacks. That's what I'm looking for. So let's go to 85 here. Put out the 85s here. Going to put out the 75s again. Just trying to add on pullbacks here, guys. Now moving up my ladder. There it goes right back towards the 18s. So remember, the 18s is where I can step up here. So that's where I'll actually try to make a bigger approach here. Looking for some pullback fills now. Let's see if we can get a little bit of some pullback fills, and then we get the real launch. Serve is already going into the green there and trying to cut the $8. So I'm going to actually step up there on Serve now. I'm going to try to put here $8. Let's put another 20 there. See if I can get a little bit more pop. 822s. Trying to add some shares short there. All right, got some ladder there for Serve. trying to add to the position on serve and trying to be smart on clean spark and not overexposed too early here. Here comes a quick little pullback for clean spark and to try to get some fills on this pullback. Didn't hit through the 85. I have orders out at 80s. I have orders out at 77, 75. So you definitely start to size in there, but looking for a little bit of a pullback here to get that sizing in. Definitely a lot of orders out there that can get filled on quick pullbacks. Serve just hanging out there. I'm trying to get some more sizing in there. We'll see if I'm able to do that. ADIL, pull back off that 190. Will it get back there to 2? City trying to come back up. First Solar actually down today. How's Mara doing there? Mara's on the pullback here. Mara's pullback actually looks pretty interesting on the hourly. I like a cut down through the 23s and then a recovery today. So it cut down already once. Let's see if it cuts down against twice. And then Mara, we'll see if it turns back towards the upside. Not a bad one there on the cut downs through the 23s. Clean spark holding in right now. I think we're going to get some kind of decline here that's going to be pretty quick. And then I'll look to see if it really takes off here. So setting up the ladder actually below my entry here. So the orders would be kind of improving the average, not kind of hurting the average there. All right, looking around, guys, taking a look to see what else is moving here. I see Carnival Group making a nice little move to the upside. So NCLH is the one that I've been trying to focus on, and it still has a really nice trade idea here. So $20 hold now, maybe 19 on pullback, 1980s, 1990s on pullback seem to make sense for me on Norwegian cruise lines today. Let's see if we can get a pullback here towards the 1990s. I don't mind it. Just need a little bit of a pullback here. We'll see if it gets back into the 90 and 88 spot here. Norwegian cruise line. I like this trade, man. This is not a bad one here. I could do RCL also. Similar move, right? You guys can also trade that. CCL doing pretty well there, man. Come on down, and Norwegian Cruise Lines. I'll take a little bit of that. All right, here's Clean Spark pulling back a little bit there, guys. Catching up with you guys in the chat. I see Tusk. Are the Tusks pushing? The Tusk is pushing there for the 480s. Will it get the 5? We'll see what happens here. All right, guys, I'm going to throw up there my multi-charts here to try to give you guys some different outlook there. You guys keep throwing it up, and I'll keep throwing up some different names that are kind of moving out there. All right, guys, serve didn't hit me at that 820 now. Now I'm going to start trying to add in here, guys. As it starts to come down, I think it could break the 8 here. So I'm starting to get sized in here. Still not big, right? I've still got 60. So maybe one more pop and then it gives me that fills to really kind of take the big shot. There's Clean Spark giving me another fill there. Came back to the 70s. I'm adding on Clean Spark. I got now 80 shares. 80 shares at 70s, right? And so with this being said, the next move is the 50 move down. So I'm setting up moves for ads at 1750s and 1745. All right, guys, let me go ahead and put my other screen up here, guys. Like always, smash the like. Let's keep it moving here. Let's see what else we can come up with. And if you guys see a stock you guys want to talk about, keep throwing it up. Here's the multi-chart, guys, and I can throw plenty of names here. So if you guys got a stock you guys want to throw up there, keep them running in the chat. All right, there's a couple of names we can watch here. Let's go to it. Let's put Tusk. And where's the stock that halted, man? The AZTR. Woo, that thing went up past 9. That thing's trying to break 9 now. Wow, what a crazy move that one is. There's serve starting to break there, guys. I'm going to start stepping up on serve. All right, just added a little bit more there on serve. Now I got 80 shares, guys. Still looking for the push back there to really kind of size in. I want to see one more drop, but if this just drops here from here, hey, just let it go. Let it go. Let's go. Let's get it. Serve, baby. Trying to serve it back to it. All right, guys, it actually doesn't look too bad with those 80 shares. I'm up into the 813s, so still don't want to go too crazy. Still putting up orders back towards 840s and 850s, but this could just quickly drop. So, hey, not looking too bad there on serve. So we'll see what happens on that one. Did reject that move there. Could do one more attempt towards the 830s or 850s and then really fade. So that's what I'm trying to leave myself room to get that, right? I could run to the quick profits here, the 35, and then just take that and then try to keep playing with it. But I don't like the back and forth. Let's keep moving. Let's go towards it. Let's see what CleanSpark is doing now. It's towards 1760s here, trying to balance out there. And what am I going to do here? Well, I'm just going to keep waiting for the pullback to kind of get these right ads. Because if I jump in too big, too fast, that's easily how you get wrecked in a stock like CleanSpark. Getting those quick pullbacks here. Going to look to see if we can get one more pullback to the 1750s. That's really the level that I could really start to kind of get a little bit more of the ads. AZTR, big rip there, guys. Wow, what a move there, guys. AZTR. You guys were all over it. It just was too quick, too fast for me. But there's the 1120s now. What a move there, guys. Now, one thing to note is, remember, I talked about how we could do the fourth attempt. This looks to me like that fourth attempt. So I don't think this has too much more, but hey, to each his own, right? I mean, you guys can keep trying to get after this. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on that Bollinger Band could be a short around the 1150s, but you would have to go really small to try to take a trade like that. There's serve going in the green for us towards the 1750s, so I'm going to let that continue to work. If I can make a nice little quick $100 on serve, I'll take it today. This one's not really one that I'm going to mess with right now, AZTR, but I'm just taking a look at that. There's ADIL trying to break that $2. Still looks pretty good there on that pullback of the 190s. Now caught the VWAP, now trying to go higher. And this is going to be an interesting day, right? We can talk a little bit about this trade here. I do want to talk a little bit about that, as today will be a penny stock strategy and a perfect day to maybe trade one of these penny stock strategies. So that's the 9 EMA pullback here. So a slight dip below $2 and then looking for the rip back there towards 220s on ADIL or AZTR. Looking for the 9 EMA pullbacks, right? 9 EMA actually held really well today. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that coming up. That's AZTR. I'll be watching a little bit about that. So stick around, guys. I got a great penny stock strategy that I'll be talking about at 10:30. Don't miss it, team. And I'll try to even make a trade on that, right? I can do it on serve still. It's still holding that right now. That's at 780 area. But just keep in watch right now. All right, guys, going to get another ad here on CleanSpark there towards the 1755. Still looking to see if we can get towards the 1740s for that last ad there. I'll get about 120, and then I can start to manage it. But look at my average. My average, I'm liking it, 1768s and improving, right? And so move back through 18, and I'll be in a nice position with about 100 shares. That's fine. I can still add to this. I can get up towards about 500 shares. I'm just trying to slowly get the ads here. All right, going to look for that one more dip and then for the turn to really start to happen here. We'll see what happens. There's AZTR. Was that on the halt? Yeah, that's on the halt there. City turning right back down. We'll see what happens there. How's Google doing today? Google with the rip to the upside. And so it looks like that one's not a bad one to play on the move right now. Tesla's on the fade. And a big part of this, I think, is just the daily trend line. So you broke through the daily trend line. You get some bulls super excited. Oh, this is breaking out. Now you can wash it right back towards the 240s. So for me, actually, Tesla's on the fade right now. So a move back to 253.40s could be a fade off of Tesla just for the day, just for right now. SMFL, of course, Smart for Life. We were looking at that one earlier. We'll look to see if that one actually gets the big rip. Tusk back down towards the 450s. Can this one push back there towards the 490s? Maybe makes a run towards 5 after it's been kind of washing a couple of times. But I'd look at the hourly on this one. Hourly to me looks still pretty. It's holding that 9 EMA pullback, trying to really make a move above this 475. Fails almost every time right there. And so that's the move to look for, reclaim, and a push higher. So we'll look to see if we can get that, this Tusk reclaim that 470, 475, and makes a run towards $5. Definitely one to keep a watch on. All right, guys, just taking a look around at the market, seeing what else I can make a trade on the day, and of course, what stocks you guys are watching. So if you guys have any you guys want to talk about, keep throwing them up. I'll keep watching to see what else is moving out there. All right, some smaller names there, getting some little bit of a lift there. Tusk. We'll look to see if Tusk comes back. GPAC, not really anything that looked good there. This WRNT, that was horrible. SunPower up a little bit today, guys. It's actually not a bad one to keep on watching because I'm looking for solar plays, right? So solar plays not looking bad here on this 76 pullback. First Solar kind of on the pullback right now. EMPH, I think the earnings are coming soon on that one. So keep watch to see what happens there. See if this gets the lift today. It's not a bad one to keep on watch. We'll see what happens. Cat, what's up with the cat? Cat's out the hat, man. It's pulled back. It's held the pullback. Now it could go for another kind of push higher. It actually doesn't look that bad. It's holding the pullback right now. This is 346.21. 345.10. So a recovering of 346. Actually not looking too bad at all. Trying to expand it right now. See the bottoming actions, 1, 2, 3. So I'd look for one more attempt back below the 346 on Cat. I'll look to see if I can get that pullback towards that level and then get the drive. So let's see if I can get that on Cat, then take a shot there. Clean Spark still hasn't hit my last ad there. Let's see where we're at here. 1748s. Yeah, holding well around the 1750s mark. So that's actually not looking too bad there. I got another order to add at 41, but just keeping it simple right now. Serve looking good there, guys. Serve now really starting to break. Let's see if it really kind of gets going here and just starts to let go back to 6. So another cut down of this low here, the 722s going to the 7. That's going to be probably where I'll take the profits and run. But let's see what happens here. Canceling out my ads just for a squeeze attempt there. So canceling those ads in the 840s, 850s. There's AZTR, guys. Reopened, guys. Looking pretty good there. It starts to push here towards the 12. Now is where the level is where I'm like, okay, so look at the 9 EMA recovery there. Actually pretty well done there off the 11s. 11s needs to hold right now. If not, that could cut right back down. What a move there on that one. Serve giving me that cut down towards the 7s here. Let's see if we can cut down through the 738s. Really getting ready to take the profits here on Serve. Not a bad move there. And only got 80 shares, guys. So maybe, yeah, bigger trade could have been a nice bigger amount. But hey, just trying to keep it simple here, guys. No need to get kind of complicated here. Could take a nice little easy gain. Sometimes the easy ones, you got to take them and run, man. All right, got the order out there at the 713s. I'm in at 813s. I'll take a nice little dollar gain and then just run out of here. Let's see if we get another little quick down and Serve. I take my money and run. Clean Spark now starting to come back there. So good levels there that I liked on the pullback. Now I'm looking for another bottom towards 1750s to add. So I'm moving my ad towards 1750s to create kind of that double, triple bottom look, a little bit of a rounding bottom, V bottom, and then it comes back through 18 is what I'm looking at. ADIL up there towards the 236, looking well there. We'll look to see if that keeps moving. And AZTR, oh my God, that thing did a downturn there. Man, that was nasty. From 12 to 9, that's easily how you like kind of rip an account. But definitely, man, the turnaround there, it happened, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the fourth attempt. A lot of times I see pullbacks come into play. At this point, can it get back to 12? Yes, but likely to start rejecting the 9 now. I'd be looking for like 11 recoveries to get short off of this if I wanted to get short. I don't like to get short off of day one moves because it's just asking to get ripped and get squeezed. So for right now, I'm leaving this alone. Looking for serve to make that next move to really just take the profits and run on that one. Get a nice little cushion on the day and keep battling, guys. Let's go. All right, guys, what else you guys got out there? Do you see level 2s other than the ticker that is I could maybe see that bullseye, but it's just going to take my focus a little bit away from it. But hey, not too bad. ADIL 250. There you go, guys. Get that money, guys. See a lot of you guys getting after it, guys. Let's keep going, guys. I'm so focused on the trading action. I forgot the music, man. You guys got to wake me up a little bit. Wake me up. Let's go, guys. Wake me up, guys. Let's get going. And you guys see me rocking the Nando jersey. Oh, McLaren this weekend. Man. McLaren. All right, there's Clean Spark. Got another fill there. I'm at 1765s, giving myself the opportunity in slow. We'll look to see if Clean Spark can hold the lows now, the 1735 lows, and then really start to work back. If it's going to 17, I don't want it. I want it to hold the 1750s here and then start working its way back. Right? So right now I set the stop there at 1724. And that's a move where it cuts down towards the 17. More than likely, only risking about $50 on that right now. We'll see what happens there. And I could still put some more ads as it comes down there, right? So I could still do another couple ads there and see how that works. All right, guys, setting up an ad at 1740s, 1735. Canceling the stop from right now. I will be watching it, but the truth is I don't want to have it out there and triggered. So just going to keep a close eye on this, looking for this to turn back through. Once I get back above 1770s, going to the 1780s, I can really start taking a shot for the 18 break. Tusk rejecting that move that we were talking about, that 470 move. So that still hasn't happened. It went right here to the 466, rejected that. Ooh, look at that downturn in Tusk. Downturn. Let's go, serve. All right, guys. I'm going to throw my limit down a little bit further down here. I have it down to the 680s now, trying to see a little quick move towards the 7s, and then I'll just throw my limit on the offer wherever I see it. So let's see what happens here in serve. It's not looking too bad here, but I think we could get a bounce to the VWAP. That's 830s, and I give up all my gains. So I'm not going to give it up here. I'm trying to get this move through this support, but it needs to break this support, right? It's touched this kind of body already here. Really close. So I'm just looking for that breakthrough. Let's see if we can get it. Just one big wick candle towards 7 is what I'm looking for, because it could recover really quickly to 750s. Let's see if we get it here. 720s. You see the recovery there, and there's a big order at the 720s, 721, 720s there. I'm looking for that to get cut through. So that's at 720s. Let's see if that gets cut through. If that gets cut through, I think we go at least to like 1705, 1708. I'm looking for that as the profits right now. There we go. We get through that 720s now, where I see a little bit of sizing. Get through it. Get through it. I'm seeing a lot of offers thrown up there, so people are trying to get short on this and keep knocking this. Let's go, serve. Serve it back to me. Let's go. All right, struggling there in the 730s here, guys. So I'm going to take the money and run, guys, because I could feel like this is going to come back. And boy, oh boy, it just came back really quickly through the 750s. So I'm holding off on the profits right now, but I did see that nice little pop towards the 750s. Now I need to see it reject the 9 EMA. So this is the 9 EMA where I don't want to see it close above this level. So right there, I can go ahead 750s. If I wanted to, I can do the stop loss at the 750s. That would still keep the gains there, but just got to be smart here and make sure I take some gains. 750 has 4,000 shares there. You could get a little pop through the 750s and then a move right back down. There's the pop through the 750s. Now the next layer to watch is the 760s. So I'm going to put the stop right now at 763s. If it hits that, I'm out. If it comes back down, I still got the order at the 705. So let me show you what that looks like for you newer traders that might not know how this would look. All right, so this is the chart right here, guys. You can see my entry. I'm up about 40. I have the stop right there to take the 40 if it hits. And what I normally like to do is, like, as soon as it gets close, let's say like right now it's at like 60s or like 59, it can just trigger for a slight second. So I'll move it up to 64. Just like 1 penny. Giving it that 1 penny, you don't know, man. It saved me countless times. So we'll see what happens if it hits it there. Did you see the 62? The 63 would already got triggered. So I could go here and go like 66 and then just drop it right quick back towards 65. And it starts to come off of that, right? And then boom, it's starting to come off of that. Now it's back into the 60s. Could still take that 63. So it's been there already. So I'm going to give it the offer there. It's going to try to take me out. Didn't get me there. Now I'm looking for the downside action to come in. If I wanted to, I could also now trailing stop this, but it's a little bit dangerous there, because what happens is that you start to trail it and it's easy to stop you out there. All right, going back to Clean Spark, that's actually starting to come back here towards my entry here. So now I want to start taking a look. The 1750s held really well. Now I want to start seeing this thing kind of really push. Now it's the levels to maybe take some bigger shots in it. Let's see if we can get through my entry. Then I can start to add here. Trying to be patient here too. Got 2 layers ready to add there. I'm going to step up to these on 40. So these are going to be a little bit more of a step up. There it goes through my layer, right? And this is my entry right here, the 65, right? So now I'm going to throw up there 60s and slightly underneath my entry. So trying to still improve it on pullbacks, but as long as it stays in the green, I'm willing to add on pullbacks and look for the rip. Not bad, not bad. Let's get after it, team. Let's see what we can do. All right, guys, almost 100 of you guys. We'll see what else is out there. ADIL, let's go, let's go. Taking that money. I see you out there, man. Guys, take that money, guys. City going up. I had that feeling there with City going up a little bit, so I could scalp that, but I'm looking at some other ones there. AVIL, ADIL. I'm putting that one up there. It's almost a 3 there. It's at the bottom left here for you guys. Whew. There's almost 3. 298. Coming fast there. Fast. Like lightning. All right, guys, seeing that slight dip there. Now I'm starting to try to get some here on Clean Spark. It's starting to move up, so I move up with the ladder, right? As long as it stays green, I'm trying to move up here and start taking the trade. 18 is really where I start to get hot, and I think this can really kind of rocket through there. So for right now, I'm just trying to get pullback ads and get myself closer now towards the 70s, but that's okay too. Right. And so at this point, I'm green. You see the trade green. Now I start to size in there. Now I start to take the trade bigger. Yeah, that short bullseye, it's just not up my alley, man. Like I feel like I can call those shorts sometimes, but I can't trade it. And so if I can't trade it, it might not be for me. It might be for someone else that has that quick mentality. It's a hard trade. I see it, but there's another thing actually executing it, right? And I'll be honest about that. All right, guys, this might not pull back now. So now at this point, we got to just keep stepping it up by about, so now I'm like just trying to step it up here. Step it up. So now I have what, 65. So I'm doing 75s by 80 now on the pullbacks. And don't forget, it could still pull back to the 1750s. So we got to keep that in mind. But I feel like we're going for that 18 right now. And this might not look back. All right, serve did get hit there towards the 763s. So that could come right back down to the 7s. Could try to like maybe short it right here and then keep it really tight off of like 770s. But I'm going to look to see if this comes back to the 840s later in the day, and then I'll go short big on serve. We'll see what happens there. Going back to clean spark up there towards the 1790s. Now I can go ahead and step up for that 18 break. Looking for the quick instant fill here. No fill there on that pullback. So have 1790s, 1795, 1780s. Now you see me move up there. Now I'm towards the 1770s, 160 shares. Still small, still not looking for the big size, looking for the breakout above 18s, and then I'll look for pullbacks below 18 to get big. Let's see it. All right, so now I got to look for some pullback action here to come back at me. It could come back right towards my entry. Normally, this is when I go ahead and I throw one right below my entry, giving myself a little bit of bid support and looking for the pullback and watching the action here. Because 18 can just go, and then you'll get this break back here towards this 1810. Then I could look for below 18s on ads. So still trying to get some ads, but going about it slow here, guys. Ethereum still kind of hanging in there on the pullback, right? So this is what I kind of talked about, that I kind of felt that we would get that hourly pullback on Ethereum names, and then you'd get that rip higher. So for me, I think this is great that you're trying to break the 1190s. I think you could even go lower a little bit. So we'll see what happens here, but looking for an attempt to move back towards the 1160s and then the recovery on the day. This is not a bad one to watch there. ETHU. Gonna take a swing approach on this, guys. Let's take a look at the action there. I'm gonna set this up for a swing. All right, guys, let's see what happens here. It's at the 1199. So what I'm gonna do here is looking for that 1180s to 1160s on the pullback. So let me go ahead and put 80s, put 30 shares on these. 70, 60, 50, and then put one at 65s. All right, setting up a ladder here on ETHU for the swing trade. We'll look to see if we get some pullbacks to that, but going back to the market here. Seeing that serve start to spike, and kind of, I'm glad I got out of that thing. Tusk, what's up with Tusk? It's at the 450s. We'll look to see if that recovers back, but that was a hard downturn action there. Mira, down to $3 there. So that's struggling there. AZTR at 10. Woo. What a move on this thing. What a move. Back down to 876. Try to catch the VWAP there, probably. Need to take a look at it, but AZTR is the VWAP underneath. Ooh, towards 740. So it is trying to get a reload there. It looks like it. Clean spark right at 18. Let's go. All right, guys, just broke that 18. So now I can put the 1790s out there for any pullbacks. We're looking good. We're starting to get a nice little move and starting to move higher. Maybe I need to size in a little bit earlier and bigger, but that's okay. I'm learning it here. Keeping it small and working what? A bad habit to a good habit, team. Smash the like for that. Take that base hit, Wisdom. There's 1805, 1806, looking great in this, guys, as we start to get back above the 18s. I think this could run towards 19 and just keep pumping along. So let's see if this can keep just working here. Pullbacks, I'll definitely be watching. First wall that we'll run into is 813. There's 20,000 shares there. That's going to be some hard to get through. So I'm looking for it to see what happens at that 1820s, but can also take a look at Mara scalps now. So I talked about how Mara, I felt like was going to come back here. It did come back on the hourly, undercut the support, now can hold that support 2270s. So 2270s, I'd be looking for quick pullbacks towards that area. You got a nice little one right here off of the VWAP, which is 2271. So going to look to see if we can get a move back here towards 2270s on Mara, and then it's scalp it back to the 23. There's the up there towards the 812s, 813s there on Clean Spark. 815s, we're going to hit that 820 seller here. Look down here on the bottom. Look for big orders. Look at that 17,000, 12,000, 12,000 at the 18s. We blew through that. And there's more. There's 8,000 still there at the 820s. So there it was, guys. They're moving it up there. There's the 820s. Now 7,000 goes through there. Big orders going through there. 19,000. Big orders going through here. 820, 1822s. I'm canceling my ad as I'm just ways away now, guys. Looking for at least over $100 here on the first profit, but looking good here, guys. We're getting up there now to $80, and this is starting to do a little bit of a takeoff here. So what could I look? I could look for scalps all around. Riot is one that comes up to my attention, right? So let's go take a look at maybe scalping Riot on this kind of breakout to the upside. And the Ethereum names could move off this first also. So just keep that in mind. We're getting a nice little lift there. It's already through this 12 on Riot. So I'm going to leave this one alone. I'm looking for another one to maybe scalp there. CIFR already kind of pushing there. BitDeer. You know, there's so many of these guys that you guys can look at there. Let's go back to Clean Spark. But man, nice little rip there. Almost to that 100. About to take some profits off here. Got to take some profits here, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's take 80 shares off and then look for it to come back here. Then I'll go ahead and try to get some more. I'm not going to get picky there, guys. Took the shares, took some off there. Nice little rip higher there on Clean Spark. What a trade, guys. Look at the approach here. I think I was able to really kind of size in accordingly here. And it's worked for me now 2 days in a row, right? So you guys can see the orders. I'm going to show you guys it. Let me switch over to my other screen here. Give you guys that outlook. Doom. Let's get this up here. What a trade, guys. What a trade. Let's go. Little part of me feels like selling it all there and buying it back below the 18s, but that's just, it's so hard to get picky like that as a trader. All right, guys, let's go ahead. I'll share it here. Bring it back. Let's go. Let's take a look at the action here. You guys out there, how you guys enjoying it? What's the stock you guys are watching right now? Let me know. Boom. There we go. All right, guys. So you guys can see the ads down here, down here, down here. So how many ads did I get, guys? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ads. 6 ads. 7 ads. Boom. And as it turned into my favor is where I really started to size up. I think what I need to do is kind of size up a little bit more on this first one. And it would have been 40 here, 40 there. Adding that 80 would have got me into like the 300s, but looking good here. And now at this point, what can I do? I can hit this, stop loss, break even, not going to lose a single cent on this name by the end of the day. And now can look for a real breakout, right? Real breakout going from the daily charts. They don't come from the hourly. They don't come from all that. I want to look at daily charts, things like that. Hourlies, you guys can look for resistance to play in. 1840s seems like a resistance right now. After we break that, you get the next layers, 1860s, 1980s, 20. All can come into play. If I look at the daily chart, I see a move to 20 making sense on the day. That leaves me room for a big run. So at that point, can I add here? Yes, I could add. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in right now, break even, and look to see if this 80 shares can just run. All right, we'll see what happens on this one. Let's keep it moving. All right, guys, what are these live chats? These are trading live chats, man. And if you go over to the YouTube side, we got a lot more for you. I know you're on Facebook, but come over to the YouTube side of things. You might like what's going on there. All right, should have held, got out at the 1780s. Hey, it's how it is, man. If I hit a homer, then great. Hey, Wisdom, this was one that I did what? Morning approach, right? Was already thinking about the 1750s. That's where it came back to. That's where it launched off. Trying to stay to the plan. All right, guys, let's go looking around. We got a nice little cushion there. There's serve right back up to 8, rejecting that $8. That actually looks good there for me now to come and hammer it here. So I kind of like this serve now. I'm taking a look at it here. Don't mind taking a trade on this one and then just trying to see if we can get it back to the 1720s. It's all about risk to return on this now. You got a 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up. Looking for this $8 move right now to fail. And then I can go hard at it. So instead of going hard at it with just one order, I'm going to go at it with a ladder. The same way approach that I've been trying all day long. Let's see if we can get it to work here. 1780s will be the first entry. Then to 1790s. 8. 810s. Just building up my ladder here. Any move back, I'm going to be able to build that ladder and start trying to take that approach. So only got what? 1, 2, 3, 4. The same 4 that I put out earlier on this same stock. So it could get hit on that any move up through the 80s. And then looking to size up through and take this down again. Let's see. See, it's right off of that. A lot of times this is when right there, I got that first trigger, right? Now it wants to come after me. So I'm moving this up here closer towards the 8 because I have a feeling that we're going to get this attempt towards right slightly above 8. So I'm going to put these up towards 810, 805, and 8. If I only get these 20 shares, that's okay. I'll just shake it off. But I have a feeling that we get a little pop, then that quick drop right after it. All right, rejecting right now. Could just reject the 8 move, but I'm looking for one more attempt to touch that 8. BE, man. Bloom Energy, one that I was trading yesterday, doing really well there. So, hey, take a look at that action straight up. Could pull back now, but it was a straight up move. SAR showing up there. We'll look to see what happens with that one, but not much action on that. AZTR holding in that $10 move. We'll look to see if this can keep moving, but not a bad looking stock there, holding that 10 now. We'll look to see if it keeps making runs up, but man, what a move on that one. ADIL back down through the $2 spots. We'll take a look at some other action there, but can Cat recover there? Ooh, Cat looking good there. Did we get that cut down through the 346? No, it held that 346 really well. Now starting to come back. Of course, this was on the playbook. Now this starts to make its way back. I'm looking for any pullbacks below towards that 346. Could get this going on the daily. Daily's kind of holding in here. Could turn around really quickly through that 350 and make an up move. We'll see what happens there. I haven't been able to even take a look at the sectors too much today. Let's go taking a look at that. Clean Spark doing too well for me. So, hey, it is what it is. Industrial's doing well. We've talked about that trade. GE probably killing it. There it is, guys. There it is. Look at the move on GE that we've been watching for weeks now. Look at that. The swing trade was beautiful off of that 158, 156 level. Oh, you're coming in today and cashing in. 170s now for GE. What a trade there, guys. All right, guys, let's see what happens out there. Yeah, I mean, that's completely true. You can invalidate your trade, but I still hold on the 60 seconds. So I don't stress about that, man. I'm always usually holding over 60 seconds. I mean, how long have I been holding this Clean Spark? Just the 1 minute goes by in an instant, guys. You guys don't realize how fast 1 minute goes. City looking great, and that GE looking awesome there. Picard, did he come back? That's one thing that I think could come back on the day, even though it's getting hit. It still could make that move back. Deer is one that I'm looking to see if it comes back. Clean Spark doesn't want to come back, and I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Let's go. Let's go, guys. How's Mara doing? Is this straight takeoff there? Ooh, it's taking the move there now. Now really starting to hold in there. Did get the move back below the 23 spot. Now really kind of getting that move back through that 23s. Looks great there on Mara. We'll look to see if that can continue to climb. Ethu now really starting to get the move there, back there towards the 12s. So are the Ethereum names moving? Are the Bitcoin names moving? Hell yeah, they're trading. Now it's where do you want to get them, right? Hive trying to get through that 1050. These are stocks that definitely can make moves on a day like today. Are they near resistance? Yes, but that doesn't matter if they got the catalyst to keep it pushing. But don't forget that there is resistance above, so you got to take some profits sometimes. Serve just hanging out there. Still hasn't gotten to the $8 spot. I do have a trade available for me on there, so got to go focus on this. Got to make sure that I'm going to get some order size correctly here. All right, back towards the 796 here for Serve. 715s even makes sense for the pop. BE still just ripping to the upside. Looking around to see if there's some other names that are making sense for me. AZTR, not a bad one, right? Of course, that's hanging in there. But going to take a second in a little bit, guys. We'll talk a little bit about a 1 minute strategy, and maybe we look at that 1 minute strategy with AZTR. So, hey, maybe we do that now, guys, because I think it makes sense to kind of take a look at it, right? So there's something called the 9 EMA strategy that we'll talk about in just a second here. But you guys can see the light blue line. We'll talk a little bit more about the breakdown of the light blue line, but you can see how it's trying to recover that. That's something that I'm looking at. All right, we'll see what happens with this AZTR, if it can keep driving. Clean Spark now towards almost 1850s. Did we get up there? 1842s. So what a nice move there. Not looking too bad there, man. Not looking too bad in Clean Spark. And I could have got bigger on this name. I feel like I'm a little bit like, I got to think about the good habit, right? Not the bad habit, the good habit. Got to think about that one. There's that push on Clean Spark. ADIL on the pullback off the 9. Still hanging in there. We'll look to see if it does make a little bit of recovery. What's another one, guys? SLRX. This one has halted once or twice. Could keep going. Could keep on the rip. Got to look for the next one. Like always, there's always another one. There's always another one. SMFL, another one. Trying to hang out by the 3s. Just rejected that 3 run. Let's see if it takes the 3 run. SMFL. It just rejected that 3 run. 1, 2, 3, 4. On this 4th attempt, it got to take it. If not, I think this thing comes crashing back to 2. So we'll see what happens on this one. Not a bad one, but it's tried. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Ooh, it's going to be hard. It needs to recover that 3 and 320s. That's going to be a tough one there. Serve starting to give me some fills, so let me go focus on Serve, because Serve could serve me back one if it starts to really rip here. Just got to be smart. Where's the VWAP? VWAP is 1818. All right, looking to get some orders to fill here, guys. I'm at towards the 792, but about to get filled here towards the 815s. Let's see if I can get that fill right off of that. So you see the bid here. There it goes. It just filled me there. All right, guys. Now got about $8. Average price, 60 shares. Still looking to add, but add at the right spot. Only down about 10. That's what I want to be. Keeping it simple, guys. Keeping it simple. Trying to improve my average, and then going to look for the quick move back down to 7. All right, 818 is going to look for a little bit of a quick pop here towards the maybe 830s even on the offer. Then you got to be careful. Got to look for that cut down right back. All right, looking around, guys. Got to go looking at some other trades. These are taking too much of my mental capital, and I got to go looking elsewhere, man. There's some money to be made out there. Clean spark, man. Go, let's go, man. Clean spark. This is why I felt like definitely. I talked about it earlier. I was like, man, I got to make this one of my top watches today because it just looks like it could just really kind of get the move, especially with the Ethereum. Look at the chart. Chart's looking pretty. Let's go. Let's go. 5 minute up there to the 870s, almost 864, almost to the 19s already, guys. At the 19s, I'll take a little bit off. Just keep paying myself along the way because the truth is you can't get too greedy, man. That's easy. You get wrecked in this game. 85s, I'll even put out there. So as it starts to pop into the 70s, I'm going to put the 85s. I think it even gets to the 19, but I don't want to be too picky about 5 cents into the 90s or the 10s, 15 cents. So looking for that pop towards the 880s, and then I'm going to go ahead and take that out there. There's 870s on the offer. Let it get into the 70s, and I'm going to throw this 85 out there. Come on, come on, 1868s. Let's go. Get that offer up there, 69s. As soon as we hit the 70s into that, I'll start throwing out the order. I just don't want to show up my hand too early. Want the momentum to drive to it, hit it, and then come back down. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, I'm getting the serve push, so I got to keep a watch on that. Don't want to get hit there on something that I'm not focused on. So right here, I'm just going to throw out the 80s so I can go focus on serve, but am getting some serve entry there, and it's starting to move there. So got to go ahead and keep watch here, making sure that I understand what my risk is here. I made about like what 30-40 bucks on this, so can risk up towards the 860s, but got to be careful here. Needs to turn right back around here. So I'm going to put the 68s out, which is about $49 of risk. I could add up here in the 845s, but now we're starting to get so away that I want to be slow to it, because if it just triggers me out, I'd rather have the smaller position size. It needs to start to turn back to the downside to show me that I want to stay in this. So there's serve into the 1870s. Let's see if we get to the 1880s, take a little bit of some profits there. $75 on the offer there. Just looking for one more little push into the 80s. Got the 85s out. Feel like I'm being a little bit greedy, so I'm going to take it here, guys. Boom. Just took it off there at the 75s versus this 80 spot. And I can't blame myself, man. When I see that kind of trade, I got to take it. There's serve hitting already that $50. So that's another thing, right? So I made like 40. I lost there 50. So that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like a $10, $20 loss there on serve. Was trying to get after it. If it came right back down through that 7, yeah, I make it like another 100. So, hey, can't be mad about that serve. Just keep working on clean spark and look at that bad boy go. Now moves back down to 18. Makes sense for an ad and taking another swing. So I could even take all the money off here and then look for it to come back to 18. And it's ways away. So at some point, we're going to get some pullback. But I think it could even just continue. So at this point, it's like just riding the momentum. I'm riding the momentum. It could get to 1950s. It can get to 20. There's no reason why it can't. So I'm just riding the momentum. How do I ride the momentum? I'll stay with the 9 EMA. So we're going to talk a little bit about that for the penny stocks, but might as well just continue the conversation. The 9 EMA is this light blue line, price action. I want it to remain above it. Pullbacks to it can undercut, but the close cannot go below it. We'll see if that can continue. Just to grind higher here. Grind higher. All right, moving up my stop, right? Because as it comes back, I do want to take the profits, but want to keep in mind where the 9 EMA is. So like that 1850s pullback right now would cut that 9 EMA. So I'm putting the stop right now, the stop loss, up towards $30 in the gain and looking for this to keep moving. Not a bad little gain there on CleanSpark today. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there. Not a bad day today. Smash the like if you guys enjoying the action, enjoying the way that we're taking our approach. Riot, that's continuing to go there. Hive, what's up with Hive? How'd that Ethereum start to move there? Now it's trying to make the move towards the 1220s and make the next step up. We'll see what happens there. Let's go looking into the market, see what's working today. Industrials working well. Financial services bouncing back. Technology bouncing back. What's red? Red is energy, communication services, and defensives taking a step back today. So is basic materials. But main things moving: technology, financial services, and industrials to the upside. So industrials, I was looking at CAT. CAT just gave another attempt there for the 346 move. So I kind of like this move here. I'm going to take a watch to see if CAT can make another step up. Hourly levels on CAT could kind of hold here. You got 344.91s. Need to see it recover back towards the 352 and 354. Looking interesting there for CAT. The only thing is it's a harder trade, I will say, because CAT spread is wide. It's a harder trade, that's for sure. All right, let me see if I can get the offer to jump back towards 346. That's where I feel like CAT makes sense. There it is. I'm going to try to go ahead and try to get some here on the pullback through the 346. So I got to do layers here. All right, 346, 345, 50s. And 345.25 I'm going to do. Got 60 shares out there for this type of move. I'm going to put it down a slight bit here towards 345.90. So looking for that slight dip below 346 to recover. 15-minute chart has that the kind of a little bit further pullback. I could see like maybe the 70s coming into play a little bit more. But don't mind starting to get the fill in the 345.80s and working my way towards that 70 or 50s. CAT, the cat's out the hat, man. It's already going back up. I tried to get that 346, no entry on that pull. That's the spread. The spread's just hard on this one, guys. I could just sit here, but I hate sitting also. Like, sitting is an easy way for the stock to blow through your entries, and then next thing you know, you're right back. That's the same thing that happened to me in Serve. I was just sitting there. CleanSpark got up there towards 19, guys. Now pulling back, might break down through that 9 EMA, so I can move up my stop there, 1870s. So of course the top profit was towards the 1875, so not bad. Right now my stop is slightly moving up, but I'm securing the bag. Gotta secure the money, baby. And like always, guys, we're not always gonna do it like this, but today is definitely that day where, you know what, guys, I am not giving up this bag. I am taking this bag with me, guys. Taking it with me, baby. Let's go. Let's see if we can make it rain a little bit today. I want some money. Let's go. Get after it, traders. All right, guys, 1885 pulling back here. Let's see if it holds the 1870 pullback. Will CleanSpark just keep riding up? And if it comes back to 18s, that's where I'll rebuy this, man. I don't mind rebuying it. AZTR back down to the 796, but the VWAP comes into play around the 8 here. So if there's a spot to maybe take that shot, for me, it's back down through this as it undercuts and then rallies. But it's a difficult trade by all means necessary. Be careful out there, team. ADIL is already back to 220s and the VWAP. So the play is there too. If you like this one a little bit more, ADIL looking interesting also. Hey, you just got to pick which one you like, man. First Solar doing well now, starting to get back towards the green. So taking a look at that one. SPWR went up there to the 83s, now pulling back. Taking a look at the 15-minute chart. Looks like it wants to come back towards that 80s. Could see this thing bouncing back a little bit towards the $1, but hey, I'm not running into it right now. City doing decent, starting to reject and go red. Cat starting to come back for that 347. Looks pretty decent there, guys. I think I might have got the swing trade through that 346. We'll see. See if I got the swing trade on or not. Let me go take a look there. MSOS. Cannabis stocks have been trying to make the move lately. So there you guys see it. It's trying to make the pop towards the 8. CGC, another one that we can look at that has been trying to make a move here. You can see the daily chart trying to prop up here. So, hey, there's some play here in cannabis today. Doesn't look too bad there. We'll see if this can continue to run. Another one, of course, you guys can look at TCNNF. But that's on the pinks, right? That's actually doing pretty decent here. I've been trying to make maybe some investments in this because I think in the long run, cannabis isn't a bad area to kind of keep watch. We'll see if this actually starts to make a move today. And can it get back to 8? Clean Spark continuing to battle there. Now trying to hold the 880 pullback. This is where I feel like you could start to break it. And at least we have the move right here measured out, right? 1870s gets me out. 1890s recovery back through 19. We can keep the party rocking. SLRX. Halted again, guys. Oof. This thing was at 3, now up there towards 8. These stocks are just ripping right now, guys. So be careful out there, but definitely seeing that kind of action in the market right now where they just squeeze. AZTR trying to hold that $8 right now. ADIL just undercut. Still hasn't made that run to 3, right? Yeah, that's failed right at an old resistance. That's something that I don't like to see when they fail right at that resistance. Sorry about that. I was talking to my dogs right quick. Let's keep going, guys. Let's see what else is out there, guys. And don't forget, we got the Olympics, right? It's 10:30. Let's go using that 9 EMA strategy, guys. Let's go have some fun, guys. I'm going to let you guys choose something today. We're going to do our talk on penny stock strategy. This is all for the Olympics because it's part of the accounts that you guys will be going after. Of course, we've talked about the Olympics before. If you guys haven't done so in the past, definitely take a look into the action here. But definitely, if you are already, guys, hit the link here in the chat. I'm going to throw up the link again here. There it is, guys, the Olympics. Guys, check it out, guys. We're going to be doing these trading accounts. And, of course, one of them is the penny stock strategy. So with that being mentioned, which one do you guys want to see me trade right now? AZTR, ADIL. Those are the two options. Throw it up in the chat. Which one do I go after? Arlette said BBLG. I don't even know that one. Hey, but it's starting to move there. BBLG. I like it. Let's go. 9 EMA pullback. All right. So 9 EMA pullback says what? Look for a what? A 168 move here on the pullback. So I can't jump into it till I get those 9 EMA pullbacks, right? I could do a $2 breakout here and then look for the pullback, but that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for it to break 2, coming back to the 9 EMA. That's 169 right now. So the light blue line, right? The way that we play this, right, is we're looking for stocks to get hot and pull back to the 9. And so a similar one, AZTR, right, did make those breakouts at the very beginning and then was holding those 9 EMA pullbacks. Eventually broke it as it went past 12 and started to cut back through the $10. So first action to see is recover 9 and then looking for those pullbacks to kind of play. So let's say now 830s on the pullback for the 9 EMA right here. We'll see what happens there. SLRX, 9 EMA pullback, the light blue line, trying to hold into it. When it breaks it, we run. Things like that is definitely a way to play it. BBLG, did it break the 2? Yes, it did break the 2. We're up there towards the 213s. Looking good. I'd look for pullbacks quickly towards 180. That's what makes sense for me. We'll see if it can keep pushing. I don't buy the highs. I buy the pullbacks. That's the way I like to play it on these penny stocks. So like 178 here for BBLG. So let's see if we can get it there. I don't mind taking the trade there. 175, I think it's at now. Let's see here. 9 EMA is at 177 and climbing. So I'm thinking 180 on the pullback. Makes sense. So let's go ahead. I'll throw out the 180 here. Just looking to get filled near the 9 EMA, the 75, 77, and it could curl right towards that 180. So I'm putting that order out at 180. And I could, if I wanted to, I could put a different order at like 175, something like that, right? So not trying to take a crazy trade here, just trying to get it like 100 shares on the pullback, 9 EMA pullback look, then look to see it kind of really kind of make the move, right? And one thing that happens here is the VWAP's right above the 9 EMA. So that's trying to play a little bit of a catch-up game. ADIL, now starting to recover that 9 EMA. This could be another way to play it, right? So you know what? I'm going to lower down that BBLG because I also want to take this one maybe to take 2 of the trades there, and then we could take the setups, right? So it needs to reclaim this 234, holding that 9 EMA on pullbacks, right? Starting to reclaim this resistance. Sorry about that, guys. Drew got the wrong tool there. All right, there's the resistance, the 2032s. So above that, and then 9 EMA on pullbacks is what makes sense for me on this ADIL. So close above the resistance, pull back to the 9, right? So BBLG, let's see if we can get the fill there. BBLG right back, the 9 EMA is at 79, close to that 80 spot there. And another thing is you can also size through towards the support. So like, let's say towards the 170. So I could do 50 at that 170 to give myself an attempt there. Fill on the pullback. It went to that 180 on the spot there and no fill there, guys. No fill. It was 181 there, man. That's a little like kind of tough luck. That kind of fill right there. I'll do 85s. I'll try to step up there, but of course I only buy pullbacks. So had that 80 available to me, I'll do 185 there, and still got that 180 out there, right? And so we'll see what happens. But man, that missed it by an inch, a penny there. That just sucks, guys. I wanted to get the entry there. The low was 180. I should have got that fill, man. There's the fills there on the quick move. So got to be careful here because it's a quick move down, and there you guys see it. Quick moves down, fills, 100 shares, 181. Now I need to hold off the 170 support. So no close below the 9 and looking for it to reclaim 2 and take out the high. The 213 is the next add on the breakout. So you could add on breakouts or you can just add on pullbacks to the 9. That's one way to take a look at it. Here's a 9 EMA strategy done live for you guys right here. All right, guys, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it gets the next pop there. It's holding the 9 EMA. We want to see it reclaim it and then take out the highs. So the high is the 213. Once it takes that out, especially the $2, the $2 recovery is what we're looking for, really. All right, guys, got 100 shares. Let's see if this can reclaim 2 and then start making the move. Back down through like kind of the 170s to 165s. That's kind of like the out where you start to close. So you see how you closed here above the 9 EMA? The close is 184. Now the 9 EMA opens at 180 and you're down towards 172, but you haven't closed it. So you got to keep in mind that it can recover that, but a crackdown, a close to this, and yeah, you got to go. You got to go. So there's the kind of the little drop there towards the 166. So got to be really careful here that it can come back towards the 160 and just cut me out. So we need to start seeing the recovery come in here. If not, it's going to probably let go back towards the 50. So the recovery is still not happening here, but the 160 available. Now we get the close below it. Now I have a low to go off of that. So the low there is the 58. And I can set my stop right there, right? And so I think that that's important there. We'll see what happens. I got 57 on the bid. I'm going to put it at 55 just because the bid is a little bit spread there. And now looking at to recover 9. If it doesn't, it gets me out anyways because I'm off of this support, this 56. Out there, guys, got cut out there on that pullback. Maybe a little bit too wide there. Took a little hit there, $26, but wanted to take the 9 EMA. 9 EMAs, I think, are definitely better at the start of the action. AZTR, you can see that as that was the better start on the day. And I like it early in the day. So this ADIL did do the recovery of the 9 EMA. So the pullback entry would be around 234, risking off the 222 spot. Could still take that one. There's nothing wrong with me maybe taking that trade. I didn't even expect the quick downfill there on BBLG. And you can see how it went down there and kind of just scooped me up. So another trade that maybe too big, too early, even in a smaller name. But hey, got excited there, jumped on that. We'll see what happens on this ADIL. The pullback level would be the 232. So entry off the 9, looking for it to hold there. Theirs would be the entry right there off the 9, right? So I'm not taking this one because I'm just gonna watch it, but let's see what happens here, right? So the 232 would be the entry, and now you'd want to see it reclaim this resistance, start using it as support, going for the 250, and then the $3 push. We'll see what happens there. Still kind of holding in there. A close below it, below that VWAP, and you got to go. We'll see what happens there, guys. Like always, SLRX has been on the halt, reopen 650, starting to show up there. And let's see how many drives have this one done. 1, 2. This is still considered the second drive, essentially, right? Maybe you consider this first halt there, and this is the third expansion move, but you're still on the expansion. This could still grind higher. We'll see what happens on this SLRX. What a crazy stock there. ADIL trying to recover that 232. And Clean Spark, guys, continuing to go. Just continuing to hold on. So, hey, as long as Clean Spark can keep riding high, there's no need for me to take another trade, guys. Hasn't been a bad day at all here, guys. All right, looking around, guys. Taking a look to see what I can trade here. All right, let's go looking at that tough one, guys, that AZTR. I have a feeling we're going to get a 9 EMA recovery here. So I'm going to look for the same type of strategy that I talked to you guys about. Just got to be smart with it. Let the 9 EMA recover through that 790s. Then 8 starts to recover. And then you start to get that push. So need the 9 EMA to recover. Look at Clean Spark, almost to the 19 again, guys. What a trade there. Yeah, the back trades are definitely more challenging. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the 9 EMA, I like it more off the momentum, like breakouts. Later in the day, it's a little bit harder for the recovery 9 and then kind of holding that. But definitely on the first breaks, those are where I really like it. And it makes complete sense, right? Because I mean, take a look here at this chart here for AZTR. On the first breakout, you get what? This first move, it's holding the 9, it's holding the 9, it breaks out, it breaks out. I'm looking for any pullback to the 9 to jump in. I get in there at that $8 pullback right on the 9, and it goes right back up to the highs. Things like that is what the 9 EMA is more used upon. And why is that? Because it's part of the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence. We've talked about that last week, right? Where is my MACD? I think it's right here. There it is. You can see the MACD and how it comes into play. You can see how it crosses over there and comes back at around the $8 spot here and starts to work back like it's going to cross over, and it makes the next expansion move. Not a bad move there. AZTR trying to recover that 9 right now. Still hasn't recovered that 9. And so until I get a close above that, I don't have a trigger. We'll see what happens later on the day for this one. SLRX pulling back to the 9 here off the 6. So this would be that 6 pullback, right? So you're off that 6. You got an undercut there towards the 550s. So now I'd like to see like kind of 590s hold. Let's see if SLRX makes another jump to the upside. ADIL, one that we were watching for the 232 recovery. Now that just recovered the 232, now starting to hold the 9 EMA on the pullback. This one doesn't look too bad there. Let's see if it gets the volume and starts to push through the 240s. Doesn't look too bad there on that ADIL. All right, Clean Spark pulling back there. We'll look to see if it hits me on that 1870s pullback. Not a bad trade there in Clean Spark today, guys. Really nice trade for me. I'll look for 18 pullbacks later in the day if this does get me out at the 1870 spot here. I'm going to go to the 68 right quick. I talk about this all the time, how I just go slightly underneath it right when it's going to hit me, just to give myself a penny or two more. You can see it's bidding on 68 right now, about to hit me out. Boom, got me out there, guys, on that cut down. So there you guys have it. Taking the gains there, up about 75. Would be up about 100 if I didn't take that BBLG trade. But I'll take my $100, man. Not a bad day so far. I'm going to continue to battle. It's a long day, guys. It's a long day. So, hey, continuing the battle is the way I like to take the approach. All right, we'll look to see if finally this AZTR starts to recover that 9 EMA. Still hasn't yet, guys. Still hasn't yet. And the reason why I pay attention to this is that it could not be done, right? It's on the ABC kind of correction move. So that's one thing to think about. It's definitely on the correction move now. The only question is, when does it find the bottom, right? That's one thing to keep in mind. All right, we'll look to see if it keeps kind of chomping out here and then really kind of gives you the move. All right, guys, scalping the SLRX. Hey, get after it, man. ADIL back down towards a 229. Still struggling on that one a little bit. CMAX getting wrecked. All right, time to look around in the market, man. BE straight up today, man. That one's not a bad move there on Bloom Energy. Mara back down. Tusk trying to catch that support there. So there's some buying trying to come back in this one. We'll look to see if it makes a move to the 470s. How's kind of Cat doing? There it goes. Cat did a little bit of a pullback action there. How's the overall market here, guys? All right, it's 10:48, guys. Gonna wrap it up soon. The market is starting to do a little bit of a downturn, so be careful out there, traders. We could start seeing a little bit of a wash action here before Google's earnings tonight. So a little part of me is taking a look at maybe taking a SOX L trade right now. This would be something to get after if you're looking for a reversal in the market, right? This is the bull outlook. If you're looking for it to kind of stay strong on technology today, you could look at the semiconductor bull action to catch the bottom, or I could look at SOX S, and this is about to get the breakout look. We'll see what happens there. SQQQ is trying to push up there. Are we going to see another takedown? AMD looking weak there. NVIDIA pulling back there. Google starting to go red there. Tesla, I've talked about how that one looked like a fade today, and look at the fade on that, guys. Man, I should have just traded it within this range. It's staying within this range. It's going to stay probably there tonight. Catch me tonight, guys, 345 to 415. I'm going to be talking about Google, be talking about Tesla. Google starting to come down fast there, guys. So can take a look at kind of taking a look at that kind of a trade. But doesn't look too bad there. We'll take a look to see what we can come after. Maybe it's SPXS, right? The bear of the S&P. Doesn't look too bad there for a little bit of a pullback and a little bit of a run. Looking to see if you get some more takedown in these names. But hey, you guys see it out there. Definitely seeing SERV back down towards that 8. So it went up there towards that 880s, and now it's right back towards 8. ADIL just broke down big there, guys. That breaks down ugly there. AZTR now starting to try to do that recovery. Yeah, first move back above the 9. really starting to close. Let's see if we can get a 2 or 3 candle close above the 9. So pull back to the 780s here, holding, and then it starts to make the move. This one's a tough trade, man. Tough trade. You could see this going like to 750s really quickly. So this is the hardest thing, is that you got to understand where the support is in this one. Now you're reclaiming that 9 and holding. So that's actually a good sign. Now you got 3 candles there. So I could look for the $8 pullback buy on this AZTR. Let's see if we can get it, guys, and just maybe take a small position here on this pullback. So looking for the 8 pullback, right? So I'm going to put out 805. I'm going to put out some right underneath 8. 795, 20 shares. Now I'm looking for slight dips to just fill me. So the same way that I got those fills on like BBLG, they need to be like these quick little dips that fill me. Starting to reclaim that 9 and looking better there. It's right by resistance. So this is where you could get that down attempt back to what? Prior resistance becoming support. So right around here, the 785 seems to make sense. You guys have that quick dip here. No fills there though. That's where you got to be a little bit on that cancel, because what I'm going to get probably is that quick dip fill. Where's the 9 moving up to? 801. So the 9's moving up with the action, right? That's one thing to keep in mind. BE still trying to make that move there. There's that pullback AZTR. Gonna get a 3rd dip there. So you got to keep that in mind. Slowing down here, guys. It's 10:53, about to wrap it up here. AZTR just moving way too slow, guys. And when I get those fills, it's going to be a quick little down move here, guys. So we'll see what happens if I go after it. I just canceled. I canceled. Just want to see the slight dip below the 9 EMA here. Actually get some size and buying. Not seeing much action go through. The volume's drying up here. So you see how the volume's dried up? Got to be careful with that kind of volume just drying up. All right, KNSA. Don't know what this one is, but it's moving. This thing's ripping today. Some biotechs today, just completely just not stopping. All right, this rejected the 9, now coming right back down. So a lot of these starting to come right back down. So just be careful out there, guys. AVXL. A lot of these dying out, man. Tusk dying out. A lot of these just dying out. Yeah, I don't see too much on these guys. Let's go towards the tech names, see how those Qs are doing. They're fading there. They're fading. How's Coin doing today? There's the pullback. How's Clean Spark on that pullback? Still holding in. It still could just continue to grind higher. We'll see it. A pullback for me that makes sense on that is all the way back down towards the 1825s and kind of the 1775. Somewhere in between that 50 cents. Doesn't look too bad. UPS taking a big hit there. Yeah, UPS taking a big hit there. FedEx also. That AZTR didn't get back to that 8 and now starting to hold. It just popped there towards the 880s. But man, I'm avoiding that thing like the plague today. All right, guys, what's up out there, guys? Got hit on that ADIL dump. Yeah, great, Scott. It was definitely a dump there. It's a tough trade there. but just didn't want to hold. Earlier, it kind of made sense there. I saw that recovery of 9, but they haven't been doing well, and you guys saw them there. So earlier 9 EMAs, look at this, how it would have played on in the early action. The early action, it was pretty, right? Like the stock gets a break above the highs, right? So you're watching the stock above the highs. You get this first little breakout. You're looking for it to come back to the 9. It comes right underneath the 9, then scoops right back up, breaks that high, comes through it, comes right back to it, right back up, right back to it, right back up, right back to it, right back up. So this is how the 9 EMA can definitely play in on ADIL. And once you start seeing it really kind of break and hold underneath it, that's where you got to be careful for the extensive pullback. All right, guys, serve now starting to get hot, guys. Wouldn't you know it, guys? Wouldn't you know it? This is actually starting to get stronger here, even though it has like an offering out there. Look at it, 850s, guys, trying to get a little hot there. AZTR now starting to get back there towards the 890s, still holding right now, but it's not for me, man. It's not for me. All right, we'll see what some other ones are doing out there. Let's go to Clean Spark there. Cat, how's that doing? Came back down, back towards the 345.50s. Let's see if this wants to make an up move. It was part of my playbook today, so I got no problem taking a little bit of a trade here on Cat. I'm gonna take 20 shares just to start it here, try to get a little bit of a starter. 63s. All right, guys, going to take a little starter here on Cat. Just took it to 20 shares, looking for a little pullback towards the 345s, but not going to really stress too much about this. We want to get in here towards that 345.25. There you go. Put out 25 shares there. 345, put out 20 shares. Trying to get about like 100 shares of this one, but definitely wanted to get the starter in here. Now I can look for some pullbacks to really get the size up. All right, guys, it's about 10:57. That time means it's time for me to start wrapping the day, guys. Like always, guys, I want to continue pushing forward and giving you guys the best abilities to push forward in your trading journey. And don't forget, guys, we got the Olympics coming up. You don't want to miss it. This is our competition. You guys see it at the top banner right there. There's going to be 4 accounts in the Olympics. You got the short account, right? You got the penny account. You got the long, and of course, you got the S&P 500. Don't miss out, guys. Smash the like. I'm going to throw up the link. There's the link, guys, and we'll see what happens today. I hope you guys enjoyed the action. Like always, myself sticking around for all the trading action, and of course the playbook, the sunrise report is really my goal to you guys. I deliver every single day because that's where the good stuff comes from, right? That's where we're not only playing the technical moves, but we're playing the story, we're playing the fundamentals. And like always, don't forget the overall market. Like today, the market's pulling back. It could wipe out all positive trades if the market just continues to get wiped out. We'll see if this is just a shakedown and then the move comes right back up. Don't miss me later today, 3:45. All you guys tuning in right now, I want to see you guys over at the earnings stream later today, 3:45 to 4:15. We'll talk Google. We'll talk Tesla. What is Elon doing at Tesla? Find out. And of course, we'll take a look at Google. How is AI making its way to the bottom line at Google? I'll see you guys later today. Smash the like, and like always, team, keep working on those skills. Don't forget, we're working on trying to create a good habit from a bad habit. And I'd love to see the conversation today. And ask yourself, did I work on that habit today? And that's an important thing. If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. I know it sounds stupid, man, but man, a pat on the back goes a long way, especially in trading. We'll see you next time here, right here on Trade the Pool. And don't forget about, of course, the Stock Olympics. Smash the like. Let's keep getting after it, team. It's a great day. We'll keep going, man. Green is good. Can't be mad about it. Clean Spark, the best trade today. Doesn't want to end, wants to keep me going right here on StreamYard. Let's go.